This week, Tonya and I are getting out the full-size machines and heading to the Red Rocks as we take you out for a great ride at the Easter Jeep Safari. Then, Reece and Marianne Stein are showing off the wonderful history and cultural significance of the state capital, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Finally, the AYL crew is getting an in-depth look at how one professional snowmobile rider is taking his skills to new levels by accomplishing some death-defying stunts. It's all headed your way now. At Your Leisure is next.
Welcome to Easter Jeep Safari. We are on Cliffhanger, our favorite trail. Yeah. I'm Tonya Huntsman, and welcome to At Your Leisure.
And I'm Scott Huntsman. So we're here at the 56th annual Jeep Safari. You know how I know that it is the 56th annual Jeep Safari? Because it's on my shirt. I bought the event shirt. Now I'm hoping they didn't sell last year's, but I did know coming down to this, the 56th annual. And what a great event it's been. We've been here all week. The weather's been fantastic for the most part.
Today.
We've had some snow. We've had rain. We've had like 60-mile-an-hour winds.
Yep.
But you know what? Today is absolutely perfect. And it doesn't matter to me. I don't care what the weather's like. That's why we have a Jeep. So, you know, this is a big event, and we have seen participants come from all over the country.
Oh my gosh, I saw a Jeep today that was from New York.
New York.
They drove here from New York.
And they drove here.
Wow.
You know, that's not uncommon. New York, New Hampshire, Washington, California, Nevada. I know I've seen Iowa, Ohio.
You could list all the states.
Florida. It is. I mean, they come from everywhere. This is the largest off-road event held in this country. And I think it's just fantastic. It's a lot of fun. We never miss it. But today we're on the Cliffhanger Trail, and this is one of our favorites, as Tonya said. So, you know, and I think you're going to try some obstacles, right?
Yeah.
Because she's
absolutely.
a pretty bad girl driver, and I mean that in a good way. So, you know, as we go find an obstacle for her to take on, why don't you guys take a look at what this event's all about?
This is a week-long Jeep Safari. It's always the week before Easter. Started 56 years ago. And so many people started showing up that the city said, who are all volunteers, of course, we can't handle this. Let's ask the local Jeep club if they want to take over the responsibilities. And they did, and it just started growing every year. Now we're at our 56th year. People like to get outside and do things. And whether they come here to hike or bicycle, there's a large bicycle community here, and they have wonderful trails here to do that. And it's just an outdoor thing. I mean, it's just a plethora of things to do. But four-wheel drive is kind of what you know, the nation is doing to get out and enjoy the outdoors. You know, you see all the commercials of people out there driving through the desert or the mountains, you know, across the streams. It's exciting. You know, let's get out and do something. And the thing is, you can take the family with you. And that's what we're aiming for, is we want this to be a family-friendly event.
What a great event.
You know, and the Jeep Safari is a lot of fun, and you can see why.
There's so many
through all
people
that.
here. It's awesome.
And, you know, this is a great trail. You've got great vehicles on here. I mean, everybody's having a good time. You know, that's what it's all about. We have a feeling there might be a couple of broken ones up at the very top, but we're going to find out as we kind of work our way up. But just the same, the Red Rock Four-Wheeler Club does a great job of putting this on.
Yes.
It's all for a good cause. They work to keep the trails open. And it's multiple use. We have Jeeps here, we have mountain bikers coming by now as well. I mean, it's so great to see this land being shared by everybody.
Yep.
You ready to drive?
Absolutely.
Well, she is.
Can't
Well, I'll
wait.
tell you what, while she drives, why don't you guys check out this week's Where To?
I'm Reece Stein at your leisure in Santa Fe, New Mexico, the country's oldest state capital, anxious to show off its history and traditions.
Years before the Mayflower landed at Plymouth Rock, Spanish conquistadors established the village that is today Santa Fe. Pueblo Indians had come and gone 200 years earlier. Coronado claimed the territory for Spain in 1540. In 1861, the 1,000-mile-long Santa Fe Trail brought wagon trains from Missouri to the New Mexico province. In 1862, the Stars and Bars flew over Santa Fe for a few days until Union forces sent the rebels back to Texas. New Mexico gained statehood in 1912, and the old ancient city became its capital. If one word defines Santa Fe, it is adobe. This Spanish Pueblo style that evolved from early Native American dwellings is everywhere. New buildings along the historic Santa Fe Trail honor the old. In the city's core, it is mandated by law. It's been the city's main tourist draw for more than a century.
It's really nice. I like it. Very green. A lot of cool historical houses and stuff, and a bunch of old villages. It's pretty cool.
The Cathedral Basilica of St. Francis of Assisi, built in the 1860s, anchors Old Town. The Romanesque revival structure is a dramatic contrast to the surrounding adobe. The La Fonda Hotel sits on the site of the oldest inn in America. The current building dates from 1922. For 4 centuries, the traditional Central Plaza has been the main gathering spot in Santa Fe. On this day, dancers from the Pueblo perform rituals that date back hundreds of years. These people are thought to be the ancestors of the Anasazi, who migrated here when the Four Corners culture collapsed. Bordering the plaza is the block-long Palace of Governors, Spanish seat of government in the territory, the oldest public building in the United States from 1610. Nearby, the oldest house in the nation, thought to date from 1646. The original ground floor is open to visitors. And across de Vargas Street is San Miguel Chapel, of course the oldest church in the U.S., built by Franciscan missionaries around 1625. Said to have the sweetest peal in all Christendom, the bell was cast in Spain in 1356 to hasten the end of Moorish occupation. 20 minutes east of town, along the Santa Fe Trail, now Interstate 25, stand the extensive ruins of Pecos Pueblo, centerpiece of Pecos National Historic Park.
I think the Pecos Pueblo is a treasure that I had never heard of. It's on a major trading route. Didn't know about it. Has a great water supply, and there was a huge civilization here.
By the 15th century, it was the main settlement, housing 2,000 people in 5-story structures, with 20 ceremonial kivas some 40 feet across and 10 feet deep. Remains of the Spanish church, built in 1717, dominate the grounds. Gotta watch your step here. Not snakes, but Comanche Indians drove the Puebloans out in 1835. The national park covers 10 square miles, including Glorieta Pass Civil War battlefield, dubbed the Gettysburg of the West. Here, Union forces stopped rebel troops hoping to gain control of New Mexico and Colorado.
Came down on them and burned their wagons and destroyed all of their provisions. So
Ruined their day.
So the Confederacy had no choice but to pack up their bags and go home.
History, scenery, adventure make Santa Fe a must-see in the Southwest.
And a lot happened here. There was a revolution. Before that, Coronado was here. It is involved in the Civil War. There's just so much here, and there's a lot to see that's still left.
Reece Stein at your leisure with this week's Where To adventure in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Kurt with Slick Rock Productions, and today we want to do a review on the new Polaris Pro R.
So we picked this car up a while ago. This is the launch edition. To be honest with you, I really don't like the color scheme on it, but for some reason it's kind of grown on me a little bit over the last couple of months. But this car is truly amazing. This is a different platform than Polaris has delivered in the past. This has a 4-cylinder 2.0 naturally aspirated motor in it. They're 225 horse. So the aftermarket world is really going to pick up on this with turbos and prochargers, superchargers. We're expecting to see some big horsepower numbers out of these cars, but out of the box, they're really impressive. The clutches in them are quite a bit bigger than the previous models, and they've built-in fans on the clutches. So as the clutches turn, it actually draws the air in and it cools the belts down. So we're expecting the clutch longevity to be a lot longer in it, but also the motor longevity. Typically 5,000 to 10,000 miles is about the life expectancy you get out of a motor on a RZR. I think these are going to go 2 or 3 times that at least. There's a cold air intake from the front now that it pulls the air out of, so it's not pulling hot air from around the engine compartment. The rear seats are a stow and go, which is a really cool design on it. But the suspension's what I really want to talk about. This is really set up like a trophy truck. Quite a bit different than the previous models. There's still a trailing arm system, but they've relocated the shock to the lower control arm. So the way they've set this up and the way that it handles, it just absorbs whoops and bumps like no other car I've been in. Really, the faster you drive this car, the better this car handles. They truly are nimble and amazing. They're very responsive. Another really cool thing about this car, the rear differential is separated now. It's isolated outside of the transmission. It's bigger than an 8-inch ring gear. They have automotive drive shafts in them, automotive U-joints in them. This car should outlast and have a lot more longevity than the previous Polaris models. Drawback to this car though is it is really long. So you need a CDL to drive this car. It seems like if you're on a tight road, it's a little harder to maneuver, but it is really nimble for the length of the car and the wheelbase makes it really stable. They are quite the price tag. They're quite a bit more money than they used to be, so that's a hard pill to swallow. But the question is are they worth it? There's a lot of buzz around this car. This car has really morphed from the platform they first came out with to what they are today. These cars are really expensive, but there's a lot of ingenuity that's gone into them. So over the next couple of months, we're going to do quite a few segments out in this car, and we're going to break this down piece by piece and show you what this car is capable of. We'll be right back with At Your Leisure.
All right. Woo!
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. What an adrenaline rush.
Hey, you know what she just did? She just did the Z-turn on Cliffhanger, and that is a gnarly obstacle, girl. I'm proud of you. You know, and that's the thing about this trail. It's so much fun. And I think the best part about it is it's such a family event, and the wives get to participate, the kids do. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, she just kicked butt on that thing, and that's absolutely awesome. Huh? What do you think about that? You ready to do it again? You want to do it again?
Yeah, that was a great adrenaline rush.
I think it's great. Well, I'll tell you what, so many people are here with us, and we enjoy this trail so much. Again, a family event. Why don't we talk to some of the folks that are also in the area?
My aunt and uncle are originally the ones that invited me out here. Very first time in Moab. This is my 3rd trail overall. Last day of wheeling, had to come out here with Dan Mick, the legend, and wheel with him. Went on a trail ride with my brother actually, and one of my cousins, and that was it. I was hooked. You know, got the off-road bug, and had to scratch my own itch and buy my own Jeep. So
look around. You know, there's no place like Moab, Utah, right? Whether it's the trails, whether it's our customers. We're here because of the customers, right? There's no place on earth where they use the vehicles the way they're designed to be used like Moab, Utah.
I love having an obstacle and wondering, oh, can I do that? And being able to figure it out and get up to the top and with your Jeep all intact.
like the new trails that I haven't seen before. You know, I guess I kind of like to explore. You know, we've got a lot of things around here besides trails. We've got the dinosaur tracks, you know, we've got different Indian artifacts and writings on petroglyphs, and different things that, you know, you can't see if you're in a Cadillac on the freeway. I mean, you got to stay active. I don't care what your age is. You got to stay active. Yeah, that'll improve your mental health. You know, especially these last couple of years, you know, with the lockdowns and everything. You can imagine how hard that is on people that, you know, really like to go outside and be active. So I think it's a healthy thing.
All right. Hey, as you can see, we are on the cliffhanger obstacle. This is the most difficult obstacle on this trail, and as you can see, the most scenic and beautiful. We're only on the edge of about a 1,000-foot cliff right here, so nothing like sucking in the seat cushions. Really good right here. So while I work on getting my good friend Keith down this, you guys go check out this week's Along the Way.
There's a lot of things that come to mind when thinking about snowmobiling. But here's someone who's been breaking the mold of what's possible.
I'm Levi LaVallee, and I'm a professional snowmobiler.
We're going to take a look at what Levi's been up to lately, and a little of what goes through his mind when taking on new challenges.
What I always think about is I think about how incredible it is that my snowmobile brought me here. All these jumps, all these different things, and it all revolves around going back to my snowmobile and riding my snowmobile and doing these different things.
How does Levi continue to improve on an epic career of extreme snowmobiling? By mixing things up and keeping it fresh.
What's interesting is like this is where snowmobile started here in Quebec, and it's interesting that I'm back here in the oldest military base in Canada, riding my snowmobile.
An ambitious plan of setting up new age tricks in a historic setting. A challenging course, culminating in an incredible stunt.
Hey, you know, we're talking about doing something at the Citadel, and would you know, we could jump stuff, and then like, have you ever thought of the loop before? Ever doing a loop? And I went, yep, I've been thinking about it for a long time.
These plans don't spring up overnight, but require vision and dedication. Not only to dream them up, but to pull it off too.
The thing about the loop is, in 2004, Polaris had their 50th anniversary, and I went to Roseau, the home of Polaris, and I saw the loop for the first time. And I remember like looking at it and watching the guys go through it, and I just went, gosh, I feel like I could do that.
A monumental place perfect for setting such a personal milestone. The grand finale, 30 feet upside down above the ground. This loop requires precise speed and positioning to prevent a catastrophic crash.
My attorney said, gosh, nothing like being under pressure. And I said, that's when the great ones do their best work. So that's what's neat to see. All these teams come together, and here it is. This is when we do our best work.
You know it's well done when it's made to look easy. What's the secret to pulling off such a daring feat? Levi seems to be great at staying calm and focused in the moment.
My secret to making it through, you know, one of the things that we always say is be positive, work hard, have fun. And I say it, I'll even say it out here sometimes when things start getting stressful, or if I start getting stressed out, I just repeat that. Be positive, work hard, have fun.
Well, it certainly is inspiring to see these athletes set their mind to these challenges and wow the world by successfully realizing these visions. For this week's Along the Way, I'm Steve O'Neill.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure.
Hey, you know what? We've been having a great time on this trail today. I really think so. How about you, babe?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's fun. I love coming down here. But you know what? I think there is an awesome overlook right over that ridge. Let's go check it out. What do you want to go explore?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Let's do it. All right.
While we do that, you look at next week's show.
Next week, Chad and Rhea are rolling out with the Stedmans for an awesome ride, then stopping to play a little hide and seek in Peekaboo Canyon. Then the AYL crew is headed to the Canyon Country in the scenic Red Rock Desert for the annual Arch Canyon Jeep Jamboree event. After that, we're off to the beautiful Wasatch Mountain State Park to check out some of the recent changes to the trails at Cascade Springs. Now let's take a look at our contest winner. This week's contest winners were submitted to us via email by Robert and Becky Udy, and it looks like they're the lucky winners of an outdoor stove from Camp Chef. Camp Chef offers the best way to get your cooking done in the outdoors. Visit campchef.com for more information. Congratulations, Robert and Becky, and be sure to call us at 801-947-8888 to claim your prize.
Next week's show looks great.
Yeah, it sure does. But hey, did I not disappoint? I said we had a beautiful overlook, and we do.
Yes.
We are overlooking the Colorado River, Potash Road, the trailhead to the Poison Spider Mesa Trail.
Yep.
In fact, we can see most of that trail down there. The big U-turn of the river. I mean, this is just beautiful up here. There is always a reward at the end of the trail, and we've come with some of our best friends here and found exactly that. We want to remind everybody to be good stewards on the trail. Any motorized vehicles, stay on the trail, stay in the middle of the trail. We want to protect the land for all of our future kids and grandkids as we go because we love it so much. We've gotten along with everybody. We've had hikers, mountain bikers, UTVs, Jeeps, everybody have shared this. So with that in mind, remember, there is adventure around every bend.
Get out and create your own adventure.
At your leisure!